Legal expert Mike Davis joins us now, along with former California Congressman Devin Nunes. Good to have you guys both on. Devin, I want to start with you. Your reaction to the phone call with Netanyahu today and the way it was described.
Look, I think it's more chaos that you're seeing around the globe caused by the Biden administration. So you're right to focus on this administration's constant attack on Israel, on Netanyahu. And remember, this is not the first time that this happened. When Biden was vice president under Obama, they tried to get Netanyahu out of office at that time, too. So this is a long-running war between the left in this country, specifically on Netanyahu and really any government that's center-right. But also what shouldn't be lost on people today, and mark my words, this is an interesting day because you had, for the first time, you had the United States, the President of the United States essentially drop support or at least talk about dropping support for Israel.
Right.
And don't forget, you also had the Secretary of State and the Biden administration say that Ukraine is now going to become part of NATO. Look, for me, I've always been a critic of Vladimir Putin, but this is a major step. It's poking Putin right in the eye with no way to do it. They don't have the Congress's support for this. They don't have the American people's support for this. A very dangerous day in international diplomacy, I must say.
Yeah, well, and there obviously a lot of this, Devin, and just to stick with you for 2 more seconds, obviously a lot of this is political. They're going to try and make Russia into the scariest thing in the world again to try and keep Trump out of the White House. We know that. We've already seen what they're doing. But real quick, Devin, you obviously think that the moves that they're making against Israel have a lot to do with this next election. That seems obvious to you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you hit it right on the head. It's because they're desperate now. They have these either they're Palestinians or they're pro-Hamas protesters that are interrupting every single event that they have all over the country, including their big ritzy event that they held in New York City a few weeks ago.
And they've got and they've got a lot of tight states. I mean, all the swing states are Trump's leading, or they're going to be extremely tight. Mike, the DOJ wants to throw a young woman who found Ashley Biden's diary in jail for 10 months. The coordination between the White House and between the DOJ has never been more clear. I mean, can you imagine, for finding a diary, would they do that to any other person?
No, and the only reason they're doing this is because obviously this is bad for Biden, and Biden has continued Obama's policies of politicizing and weaponizing our law enforcement and intel agencies to go after their political opponents. And we keep saying on here for the last 2 years, this is so much bigger than Trump. Trump's a billionaire, former and likely future president, but if they can do this to President Trump, they can do it to many of us, and we're seeing it right here.
Yeah. Devin, RFK Jr. said earlier this week Biden is a greater threat to democracy than the man that they claim is the greatest threat to democracy, and that's Donald Trump. When you see the activities, I mean, you've run these committees, you've investigated this stuff. When you see the behavior, when you see how the DOJ has behaved, how the intel agencies have behaved around Joe Biden, I mean, they're trying to work toward, I think, some kind of perpetual establishment power in this country.
Look, I think Mr. Davis said it correctly. We've never seen anything like this in our country. We have a total collapse of the justice system. So not only is the Department of Justice weaponized, but you also have a collapse specifically in the blue states with the court system. The judges are now no longer independent. They truly have become politicians themselves and really acting on behest of the Democratic Party and the left. And it's a horrible trajectory that's happening. And I really think, a lot of people talk about this, but this is the most important election in modern history because we have our justice system that's really on the line in this election.
Yeah, Mike Davis, final thoughts with that in mind.
Democrats weaponized the 2016 election with the Russian collusion hoax. They weaponized the 2020 election with Hunter Biden's laptop and the 41 former Intel officials. They're doing it again. They're trying to take out Trump through the legal process because they know they can't beat him on November 5th, 2024.
Yeah, well said. Mike Davis, Devin Nunes, thank you both. We appreciate it.